Hello everyone. In this video, let us discuss about Python sets. Okay, what is mean by a set? A set is a mutable, non-duplicate, unordered and unindexed type of concept, right? So previous lectures we have discussed about strings, tuples, dictionaries, and each concept has their own features, right? So a set is a mutable. So mutable means we can change any elements in the list, right? And it is unordered. We don't have a specific order, right? However it is inserted, it will be located in any order, and it is unindexed. So which means with the help of index we cannot access the set, right? It provides the normal set operation. And how we are going to represent the set? The set can be represented with the help of curly braces, right? So here I have shown an example. A equals to, within curly braces I have given set of integers, right? So we can go for any type of data types inside a set variable, right? So let us see this in Python. A equals to, the syntax is within curly braces we are going to represent the elements of a set, right? So if I give A, the output will be in the form of set, right? So already in the previous video we have discussed about dictionaries. The dictionary also will be represented with the help of curly braces, but remember the dictionary will be having the key value pair, right? Okay, next how we are going to access the elements from the set. As we discussed, set is an unordered and unindexed type. We cannot use the index value to access the element, right? But with the help of loops, we can access all the elements which is available in the set. So here you can see the example. A equals to, I have taken 3 items, and with the help of the for loop, I am trying to access all the items from the set, right? So this is how we can access each and every element from the set, right? And another thing, we can check whether the element is present in the set or not with the help of membership operator in and not in. So already in the previous videos in many places we have discussed about this in and not in membership operator, right? So here we are going to represent the item in the set variable, right? Okay, next let us see about the add, delete or update operations in set, right? So as we discussed, set is mutable. So whenever it is mutable, we can perform any additions or deletions with the set. But another thing we need to remember here, the item in the set cannot be replaced, right? Why? Because we don't have any index to specify which particular element we are going to replace, right? So because of that, we don't have the replace operation in set. But other than that, we can go for addition, deletion or update method. So first let us see the add method. So add method is used to add the new element to your set, right? So here whenever we are adding a new element, the element can be added at any place, right? Why? Because set is unordered. We don't know where it will be added, but the element will be added into the set. Let us see this with an example. So already we have a set A which comprises of 3 items. Let us now add one more item, right? So variable name dot add of, I want to add element. Okay. So now if I see the output, you can see that totally we have 4 items, right? So next we have a method called update method. So this update method will be used to add more than one element into your set, right? So already we have used the add method. If we are going to do add method, in the argument I can pass only one argument, right? Only one element I am going to add to a set. So more than one element if I want to add, then I need to go for the update method. Let us see it. A dot update of, I am adding 5, 6, 7, right? So 3 items I have added. Okay, I'm sorry. Here I need to specify within square brackets. Right? So now if I give A, you can see that all the 3 items have been added into the set. Right? So this is about the update method. So next we have how to delete the elements from the set. So to perform the deletion, we will be going for remove method. Right? So A dot remove of, for example, if I am going to remove element 3 from the set A, you can see in the output that element 3 has been deleted. Okay. So next we have discard method. So similar like the remove method, we can also use the discard method to remove an item from the set. So just like your remove method. So A dot discard of 2, right? So if I print, you can see that the element 2 has been discarded. Okay. Next we have pop method. Similar like our dictionary, here also we have a pop method, but this method will remove the last item from the list. So previous we have seen remove and discard method, which will exactly remove the element which we want to delete from the set. If I go for pop method, the pop method will remove the last item from the list and it will return the deleted element, right? So A dot pop, right? So since we are popping, the element which will be deleted will be 1 here, right? So if I give A, you can see that the remaining elements are available, right? So next we have clear method. So if I give clear method, all the elements will be deleted. See, it is an empty set, right? And the next method is we can go for delete method. So the delete method will completely delete the set itself. Okay, so if I give A, name A is not defined. It is showing the error. Next we have length method. So this length method we are seeing from string, tuples and dictionaries. In all the cases we are seeing this length method. Similar like that, here also this length method will give us the length of the set. How many number of elements are available in the set. So let me take A equals to 1, 2, 3, right? So len of A. Totally I have 3 items in the set. Okay. So next we have union method. So this union method will join 2 sets, right? So 2 sets will be joined together using the union method, like our concatenation, right? So already we have A. Now let me create a set B. Inside that I am giving the values, right? So let me take C equals to A dot union of B, right? So if I print C, you can see that the elements which is available in A and B are together merged and concatenated into the set C, right? So next we have set constructor. So this will be used to make the set of items as a set. To make the set of items in the format of set, we can go for set constructor. Okay. Next we have a concept called copy. So how we are going to copy one set to another set, right? So for that directly we can go for the copy method. Okay. Let us see here. D equals to C dot copy, right? So if I give D, you can see that what are all the elements available in the C are copied to D. So remember one thing, since we are using the copy method, once the set is copied with another set, whatever changes we are going to do with C will not be reflected in D, which means both C and D sets are located in different memory locations, right? And last we have difference method. So this difference method will give the differences between the two sets and it will return that element which is different from the two sets, right? So let us see here. So already we have set A and we have a set C. So let us see the difference between these two. So let me take A dot difference of C, right? So the set itself. Why? Because you can see that in A we have 1, 2, 3, right? In D we have 1, 2, 3, but other than this 1, 2, 3, in A we don't have any other extra element. But let me check C dot difference of A, right? So you can see that already set A is holding 1, 2, 3, right? So apart from that 4, 5 is available in C, right? So this 4, 5 is available in C. So that the difference element is displayed here, right? Okay. Thank you.